Hey third graders, welcome back to a new video, and in today's lesson we are learning about timeline. So what is timeline? A timeline is a graphical representation of events that occur over time. It can be used to keep track of the sequence of events, how much time has passed between the events, and the exact time at which an event occurred. Here are some examples of how to use a timeline. So what does a timeline look like? A timeline is usually drawn as a line with a lot of lines that point out the important events or time that occur. It looks like a number line. Now let's do some example questions. Example 1. How much time has passed between completing two tasks? Suppose you completed task A at 9 a.m. and task B at 10:30 a.m. How much time has passed between these two tasks? To determine how much time has passed between the two tasks, you can draw a timeline with the start time of task A on the left and the end of task B on the right. You can then count the amount of hours and minutes between the two times. For this problem, the answer is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Example number 2. What is the exact time on a timeline? Suppose you know an event occurred 2 hours after the start time of a timeline. What is the exact time on a timeline? To determine the exact time of the event, you can draw a timeline with the start time on the left and mark 2 hours on the right. You can then read the time on the timeline at that point. For instance, if the start time is 9 a.m., the event occurred at 11 a.m. Example 3. What time is it after X minutes on a timeline? Suppose you know an event that occurred at 9 a.m. and you want to know what time it will be after 45 minutes. What time is it after X minutes on a timeline? To determine the new time, you can draw a timeline with the start time on the left and mark 45 minutes to the right. You can then read the time on the timeline at that point. In this situation, the answer is 9:45 a.m. Now it's time for practice questions. Please pause the video to answer the questions. Practice 1. Anna is reading a book. The number line shows when Anna starts and finishes reading a chapter in her book. What time did Anna start reading? PM. What time did she finish reading? PM. How long did she read for? The answer to question 1 is 6:10 p.m. The answer to question 2 is 6:40 p.m. And the answer to question 3 is 30 minutes. Practice question number 2. John is making dinner for himself. The number line below shows when John starts cooking and when he finishes. Question number 1. What time did John start cooking? Question number 2. What time did John finish cooking? Question number 3. How long did John cook for? The answer to question 1 is 6:10 p.m. The answer to question 2 is 6:50 p.m. And the answer to question 3 is 40 minutes. Practice question number 3. Andre starts working on his science project at 3 p.m. and he finishes 35 minutes later. Which number line correctly shows the time that Andre finishes his science project? Letter A is correct because 35 minutes after 3 p.m. is 3:35 p.m. Great job, third graders. I'll see you guys in our next lesson.